I have a story which I can't wait to put a smile on your face, and maybe you could pass it along to someone who might need a smile on their face today. I was at a conference and it was for area managers a long time ago. This was some beautiful spring weekend. And I remember driving home from that conference all pumped and inspired. We had motivational speakers, we had inspirational speakers, we had new products, we had lots of great training, and I was absolutely stoked. I was driving on my own, my car. Everybody else had found another way back to Ontario or Toronto or Montreal, wherever we were. But of course, coming from Albany, New York to Ontario, to Ottawa, where I lived, we have to cross the US-Canada border. And the Canadian Customs and Border Patrol, have to question us and make sure we're not bad toads crossing the border. Well, this particular day when I was driving home, I had been singing in the car. I had been having a dance party. My back seat was full of gifts and things that we had gotten from the conference, and I was just pumped. It was an amazing drive. It was a beautiful spring day. I pull up to the Border Patrol window, and they start questioning me in their, very serious manner. Where have you been? Where are you going? Are you a Canadian citizen? How long were you down south? And I was answering in the most inspirational way I could possibly answer. I was pumped and stoked. I said, yes, I'm from Ottawa. Well, actually, Gloucester, Ontario, Canada. Yeah, I'm a Canadian citizen. Oh, I just had an amazing weekend at a conference down in Albany, New York. It was super. It was amazing. Well, the Border Patrol guy, he was a little taken aback. Who is this, utterly happy and enthusiastic person? It's a little bit more than what they were used to. So he took it one step further. Pull over. Okay, great. I've got nothing else to do today. Well, driving home, but that's okay. I've got time. Why not? And so they started rummaging through my car and, looking at things. Oh, these wine glasses. They were Tiffany wine glasses, a beautiful gift. And they said, have these been used? Actually, they weren't wine glasses. They were champagne glasses. Are these used? No, they haven't been used. They were a gift. And they looked at some other stuff, and one of the other Border Patrol officers, called me up on a curb, which was right beside the car that I pulled over, and called me up and stepped me up on the curb, and then just asked to look at my ID, and then asked me to step down and, stand away from the car as they were looking. I called her out. I knew what she was doing. She was checking my balance. And I told her that. I said, oh my gosh, that is so cool. You just checked my balance. Got it. Okay. And then they looked at me and they said, do you mind if we bring out the dogs? Oh, this is so exciting. They're going to bring out the dogs. Oh my gosh. I've never seen the Border Patrol dogs at work other than on TV. So yeah, bring them out. This is going to be great. I'd love to see the dogs at work. Anyway, they rummaged around a little bit more, asked me a few more, questions about how long I'd been gone, what I was doing there, and, what did I learn, and things like that. And, these are all dumb questions, but sure, I'll bite. I talked to them about it a bit. And then they said, well, I guess you can go. And I said, no, but wait, you haven't brought out the dogs yet. And they said, no, we're not going to bring out the dogs. I tell you, I was so disappointed. Said, why not? I want to see the dogs in action. Said, no, it's not necessary. We just don't come across people like you very often. And I said, people like me? And they said, yeah. Well, what do you mean? They said, you're just too happy. I said, well, of course I'm happy. I don't have to be skeptical or serious or, looking for anything wrong with people. I'm just happy to be alive. I'm happy about this conference. I am grateful to be here. I'm grateful for you guys. And I'm kind of sad that you didn't bring out the dogs. Anyway, they said goodbye and waved me on my way. And I'll tell you, I left those Border Patrol agents shaking their head and smiling because I was the best thing they had ever seen that day. And I bet you they're still smiling and talking about me to this day. And so, from me to you, give your smile away to someone who could use it today and tomorrow.